folks, and welcome to another episode of Technicational. Now, for the most anticipated review of the month, the VR box. Now, everybody wants to know exactly if this works just as good as the Gear VR and what it's capable of. Okay, first things first. The Gear VR is an awesome device. Trust me, just having this at home, people coming over, people are amazed when they see VR for the first time. But the question that a lot of people keep asking is, why is it that I have to use a S6 or a S7? You know how expensive them phone is? And then I have to go buy the Gear VR. John Star can't work with nothing else. Stuff like that. Now we have a solution. The VR box. This thing will work with any phone that has a gyroscope, and you will use YouTube 360. If you don't know about YouTube 360, trust me, there's a whole channel dedicated to VR type videos on YouTube. Anyway, before we go into this, let's talk about the design of the VR box before we start comparing it to one another and all kind of crap. Let's go. So talking about design, I have to say this is quite bigger. Let me take off this plastic, make it look cheap as crap. Yeah, I have to say the VR box is quite bigger than the Gear VR. It is much thicker and it weighs a little bit more. But what do you get with this? Well, first of all, it's a goggles, so you have your strap and your band to go over your head. Fine. The cushion though right here is amazing. It feels very soft, and you can actually wear this thing for a long period of time and don't even feel like it's really on your face. Then you have some little levers up here, and what these things do is that when you actually put your phone inside it, which I'll soon show you, you adjust the lens focal points that best fits your need, because everybody don't have the same eyesight. Also, depending on the size of the phone, you can actually adjust these things to go in and out, because if the phone is smaller than most phones, you have to put the lens them closer together to see the image. Yeah. Okay, on the front of the device, sometimes you have in certain apps, you have some augmented reality and you need the camera on the phone. So you have this little area here that you can open up and see the camera from the phone protruding. So you can actually see everything around you while you have on the goggles. So people, guess what? This thing actually houses any size phone, no matter what it is. Once you open this part here, this is where the magic begins. So we're not looking at this anymore, right? We're looking at the tray itself. Okay, so this is what you're going to put your phone in. It is spring right here that clamps your phone into place. Now, I have to say, this thing is cheap as hell. Yeah, pretty cheap. Because it always feels like you're going to break it or something like that. I have to admit. But what do you expect for $2,000? Now, I have a couple of problems with this spring thing, and I know a lot of people might have this problem too. Let me show you what the problem is. So the problem you will encounter is depending on your phone size, but it doesn't really matter the size. It actually matters where these buttons are placed on your phone. Take for example, this is a 950 XL that I'm still doing a review on, right? So you have the volume up, the power button, and the volume down, and the camera button all on one side. When you actually put it in this device, the buttons, if you place it like this, the buttons will be pressed by the top mechanism, either shutting off the phone or actually causing the volume to continue to go up, or disrupt the thing that you're actually watching in the goggles. If I turn it around and make the buttons at the bottom, it's still being pressed by these things down here. So the placement of the buttons on the 950 XL makes it pretty hard to fit inside this thing. But the good news is I actually got an iPhone S5 to fit in here without any buttons being pressed by the two sides of the mechanism. Let me show you this. So here is an iPhone 5S, okay? So if you notice, on one side you have the volume up, down, and you have the silent and not silent. But the power button is at the top. So what we do is place this in here, and if you notice, nothing. It's not pressing anything whatsoever. So you just line it up to make sure that the center falls in here, and you're good to go. Anyhow, after placing the device in here, your phone in here, what you do next is pretty simple and straightforward. You would just load up YouTube. Where's YouTube? Here. And after starting up YouTube, what you do is search for 360 videos. And you'll notice you have a dedicated channel for 360 videos. And on this channel you'll find many things, even certain movie trailers are in 360, even some horror movie, The Conjuring in 360. Oh hell no, I'm not watching that in 360. What else? Nas Live. There's a bunch of stuff here for 360 videos. That 360 is really VR. So once you find something that you want, for me, let me see. Give me a second. I'll find something I want to watch in 360. So once you find a video that you wish to view in virtual reality or 360, you load it up and you will have it looking like this. You can see around in the video, but you have this little thing right here that looks like a mask or some, they call it the Google Cardboard app. So when you click on it right there, it will divide the video in two like this. And this is where you know the center of the device is. Then you place it in your thingamajig, the tray, and make sure the center is actually in the center right here. You don't have to be 100% sure because you know you can adjust the lenses when you're ready. And then once you're finished, you just tap play and enjoy. Hold up. I need to put this in the VR goggles, right? Yeah. You just slide it in. Yeah. See what I'm talking about? Adjusting the lens. Yeah. So people, if it works with a device this small, which we all know the iPhone 5S is tiny compared to most Android phones, you will definitely enjoy any phone inside here. It works. Now, the thing about it is that there's one downfall though. When I was checking online, the VR box actually comes with a Bluetooth remote. And the reason for this is that while you're watching videos and it's finished, it doesn't actually automatically play the next video. You have to actually press play or skip or any function whatsoever. Even if you're playing a game, there's no touchpad to speak of on the VR box. None. There's nothing you can touch. So if you want to resume a video, you have to pull it out back, which is kind of pissing me off, and go play. You will see the little menu and then you have to press play and stuff like that. But if you have a Bluetooth device, controller, you can actually connect it to your phone and actually press play without taking it out of the visor. This is the only downside I actually find with the VR box. There's no remote in the box, and I'm just thinking, probably I Mr. Chin just take it out, because I see this thing on Amazon and it has the controller in there. So hey, why complain? It's $2,000. So just find yourself a controller, and this would be a viable option for your phone. So the VR box works with any phone that actually fits into the housing right here. But there's something I need to tell you guys. Although the phone fits there, it's not every phone has the ability to do VR, as in stuff like that. It has to have a gyroscope built in. Now, what the gyroscope does is tell you where the phone actually is, upside down, up, down, or whatsoever. Now, most phones come with a gyroscope, but if it's like a low-end phone, they usually leave out the gyroscope to bring down the cost. So currently, I tried the Y360, it didn't work in there. I tried the P9 Lite, it didn't work either. Because downloading YouTube, I don't have the application or the little icon, the cardboard icon to press it to make it go into VR mode. But the iPhone works. Seems like all iPhones work, because here we are in VR mode. And if you don't see this icon right here, your phone can't do it. For Android, you have to download the Google Cardboard app. And if you go into the App Store with your phone and realize that it says not compatible, that means your phone cannot work with the VR box. Sad to say. What the hell is this? Yeah, although it's $2,000, people, it still wouldn't worth the money because it's not going to work on your phone. But it's a great option for phones that don't have a VR headset as yet. So you don't have to have a S7 or a S6. I've seen this work on a S5, and I'm probably guessing if I get my hands on a S4, it would work as well. And if it works on the iPhone 5S, it definitely gonna work on the iPhone 6 and 6S and 7. And the P9 works as well, but not the P9 Lite. So what are my final thoughts on the VR box? Now, first things first, people, the $2,000 for this thing is well worth it. You do get your money's worth with this thing. Yes, you do need a Bluetooth controller to fully enjoy the things that this can do, but for $2,000, why complain? How does this thing compare to the Gear VR? Well, first things first. Because the Gear VR from Samsung only uses a S6 or a S7 and those high-end phones, the video quality that you get in these goggles is unmatched, because the resolution on those phones are pretty high. So you get a better picture, better quality, a better VR experience. But what happened to the poor man? What happened to the man who can't afford a S6? This is your answer. It does the same exact thing. You can adjust the lens here for the Gear VR. The only thing that the Gear VR has over it is that it's smaller, and it comes with a touchpad at the side that you can use if you don't have a Bluetooth controller. Pretty sweet. But we're all about the money in Jamaica, people. So guess what? You have a blue phone, this work. Yeah, I used one of those huge blue phones. I don't even remember because I have so much of them. And it works perfectly in this. I used a P9 that it shouldn't have VR, but it works in this. I use a Samsung S5, works in this. So this thing is, I'll go with the VR box. I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason you would get a Gear VR is if you already have a high-end phone already. It doesn't make any sense you miss out on VR, people. VR is the way to go. And if you can't afford a S7, get the VR box. It will definitely work for you. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, this is Peyton Wilmot. Thank you guys to watch, and thanking you guys to subscribe. Until next time, peace.